Hi.
Hi, darling. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you. How's things? We've got two of you today.
Yes, but yeah, the dog is back. It saves him. It saves him making noise. He just wants to be involved. Come here, then.
I think all the fans want to see him involved as well. So
Yeah.
happy for him to join the live. So what have you been doing the last week? Then what's new with you? Anything?
What's new? Well, loving I'm a Celeb, obviously. Yeah. And yeah, I had quite a quiet week. I went out for some drinks on Saturday, which was nice, and loads of football as usual.
Oh,
hi,
nice.
I'm saying hi, Chris.
So, what are your thoughts of the episodes this week? Has it ramped up anything for you? Is it given all that you hoped for, or is it lacking a bit?
I think it's quite boring. I really do. Yeah. That the campmates have really let us down with their grilling of Matt Hancock. I really do. And I'm really shocked at Charlene, who, told him about her aunt in the care home and blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as he asked for some forgiveness and did some fake crocodile tears, she's there cuddling him. It's like, I just couldn't do it. I just don't know how. Maybe I'm just not as nice a person, but I just can't forgive that easily. No. And I've seen lots of people. I was just watching Loose Women there before I come on here, and Janet Street Porter was sort of saying basically what I was saying, but she obviously had to be a bit nicer because it's her co-presenter, whatever, co-worker, whatever you'd say. And she was saying, they're liking him at the minute because they're starving and bringing food, and he's bringing the food. No, hold on a minute. They're not starving. They're absolutely not starving. Mm-hmm. They are celebrities being paid a fortune to go in the jungle. Yes, you're hungry. You're not starving. Speak to the children who are starving, whose parents can't afford to heat their homes. Yeah. Because of the pandemic, because of our health minister at the time behaving the way he did. I'm shocked by people. I'm shocked by how little they've said to him, really. And I think we need to stop voting for him, guys. Everyone watching, stop voting. I can see people are saying, someone's asked, do you not think people are allowed to make mistakes? Everyone can make a mistake, 100%. But you shouldn't then go on I'm a Celeb and monetize from it. If he was going on I'm a Celeb and telling us he was going to donate his fee to some, a charity that was worthwhile who suffered from the pandemic, fine, whatever. But he's not. He's going on it for public gain, to turn people's opinion. I think he's got a book out. Just not interested, guys. It's not for me, all that shit. I'm waiting. I can't. I didn't stick to the rules in the pandemic. So I've what can I say? But people that lost loved ones, my kids still didn't go to school. My kids still couldn't play football. Mental health of young people, it just drives me mad. But you didn't come on for me to rant, did you, about politics?
We come on for the rant. I'll listen to whatever it is. But I do think where people say people make mistakes, it wasn't just one. And normal people's mistakes don't affect the whole entire of the United Kingdom. So, he has some responsibility to wear on his shoulders. And the only thing I hear the celebs say about him is when he's not there. So I've heard there's like a Chris Moore's chat. I think Boy George has said a couple of things, which I hope in time is relayed to him with Chest, which
I just don't think it will be. People do like to talk behind people's backs, don't they? And I can't bear that. Like, if I've got something to say, and I know people, I'm like, Marmite, you either like me or you hate me, but I couldn't talk behind someone's back. It's like, if I've got something to say to you, I'm going to say it. And Boy George would be a great person to say it, but for some reason he's holding himself back. Boy George made a mistake. He went to prison that seems to be, forgotten about, which, people do make mistakes. Sean Walsh, he cheated on his girlfriend. Mistake. I'm not saying to hold everyone, accountable for life, but I do think the pandemic was something that we'll never get that time back, and neither will our kids. So, I wish someone would actually tell him about himself.
I know everyone's kind of torn and really angry that he's voting for the trials, but it's only you guys voting. So vote for someone else.
In him. I mean, he's good at them as well, which is annoying. It's not even like, he said he's terrified of snakes, but I'm not terrified of snakes. But let me tell you, if a snake was trying to attack me, I would have done more than what he did. So is he really terrified of snakes?
Yeah.
Handling all the trials like a boss, fair play to him, but they're all eating well. Let's stop voting for him. Camp leader, how is Charlene agreed to be his deputy? No way in hell would I be Matt Hancock's deputy. No way would I be sleeping in an RV with him. I'd rather sleep on the floor. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, especially as someone who was kind of, we thought and hoped was going to be his main opponent and holding him accountable, to now be second in command, but kind of going along with that quite smoothly. Like, it's strange how her tactics completely changed and she's not stood up to her morals before she went in there. I don't know why that's happened.
I don't know why it's happened. And you've seen his face, how much he loved being leader. And that really annoyed me. Like his face when he was sitting in that chair. And it's like, and Boy George said it to me, he loves it. But say it to him. Like, if your whole demeanour's changed since you've, become leader. I just don't get it. Stop voting him, guys. Stop.
I was going to say, do you think it's gone to his head?
Oh, yeah, it will go to his head. But maybe that's when we'll see a different side of him and he might really start pissing people off. Because at the minute, he's been fine. Like, if he hadn't had the controversy around him, we'd be liking him, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
You don't want to see someone in the jungle completely isolated or being bullied. Of course not. He just shouldn't be in there. He shouldn't be in there. That's it.
I'm hoping that's the only leader title he gets and he doesn't get it on the outside after all of this.
Oh, definitely not.
Oh, well, did you see the Scorpion incident? I did find that quite funny. That was quite probably mean to admit, but I saw Boy George was also kind of laughing in the background. What would you have done in the situation?
Oh, I'd have laughed. I find it so funny when people hurt themselves. I'm one of those people. It's so bad, but unless you're really hurt. But I have got quite a wicked sense of humour. But it did look sore, and he handled that really well, didn't he? Who wants to be bitten by a Scorpio and then go and do a trial? I mean, he's being very brave. I just don't have nice to say about him.
Oh no, you've been nicer than I think. I heard a little interview with Miriam Margolyes, the actress, and she called him an appalling adulterous creep. So she's let loose on him this morning, said he shouldn't be on there. So
yeah. How's his wife feeling watching this? Do you know what I mean? And he's falling in love and, she's the best thing that happened to him. I just find it so appalling. Men cheat, then go on national telly and start bigging up the mistress. It's like, if I was the wife at home, I'm telling you something now, I'd want to catapult myself in that jungle and stabbing him in his eye. I mean, I'm not great with things like this. I'm really not. So, yeah, his wife.
I'll tell you what, that would probably be a more difficult trial than the bugs and the snakes. Send his ex-wife in there. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Send the ex-wife in there, 100%.
So we've done the leader. So Boy George, I've been looking at like Twitter reaction and stuff this week. It's kind of divided fans, and I know we love him and he's an icon. But can you see why fans are getting kind of divided with how he's been in there at all?
Yeah, I mean, Boy George is a character that you're either going to love or you're not, aren't you? I can see that. I don't see that he's done anything in there that would make you, he's been quite serene. He's not really done.
I think people are getting a bit like feeling sorry for Matt because he's his digs, and I'm like, no, like allow the digs, please.
Yeah, and the digs aren't even bad. I mean, Jill Scott's dig was hilarious, wasn't she? When she was like, is this guidance or is this? Yeah, brilliant. It's like when he said that he hadn't broken the law. It's like, no, you've broken the guidance that you'd set us that we were all meant to be following that I didn't, so I don't care about, My mother-in-law come to football on Saturday and was like, oh, are you watching I'm a Celeb? Isn't Matt lovely? I was so shocked by her. I was like, no, what are you doing? It was like a heated discussion between us all. I was like, no, you're crazy.
But it is working. What is his game plan for this is massively working.
I mean, maybe, but I can't see it happening for the majority. But, I really like Boy George. I just want more from him. I want him to stand up and say what we're all thinking. But I really don't think anyone's going to. I really do.
There looks like there's been a bit more tension brewing. And I'm hoping he pops off because I'm sure he could once he opens his mouth and does it, I'm sure he could paint the town with Matt if he was going to. So I hope he does. Mike's next on my list. Fans are loving shirtless Mike getting into the little pool. Women have gone absolutely bananas on Twitter.
I mean, what was those bunny smugglers? Is that what they're called? I mean, oh my God, if my husband wore them, I'd get divorced, I think. I love him. I think he's brilliant. I'd like to see a bit more of him. It's just a Matt show, so we're not really seeing loads, but I like Mike. I think he's good. No one's really getting the airtime. What someone said, regardless of what Matt has done, I don't like the bullying. There's been absolutely no bullying. I hate this about people. Who said this to me? What's your name? Liam. What bullying? Who's been bullied? This is why this country annoys me. What bullying? Who has bullied Matt? Nobody. Absolutely nobody's bullied Matt. I seen one of the papers wrote that Chris Moyles was bullying Owen. There's been no bullying. ITV would not allow bullying. If anyone was bullied, they'd step in and they'd sort it out. Why every year do we have to try and say someone's a bully or someone's been bullied? No.
Yeah.
But no one's.
Well, Matt looks like he's having a great time. He's probably had the most fun that he's had, buddy, in months on the show. To be fair, all the attention he's getting.
100%. Like literally, like no one's even that outspoken enough for it to even be a tiny bit of bullying. There's been nothing. He asked for forgiveness, and he's being cuddled around the campfire. I mean, absolutely not. I could not be cuddling Matt Hancock. Absolutely. I mean, he might have grabbed the bum if I tried.
Can you imagine? No, we can't have another touchy on a celeb moment with you.
Definitely not. Ugh.
God. Talking about royals, people have been asking, would Harry and Meghan ever do it? Do you think we'd ever get any of them in there? And how would they do? Which I'm not sure if they would. How would they do in there, do you think?
Well, let's be honest, we'd never get them in, 100% not. But we can dream. So I think that Meghan has proved herself to be absolutely ruthless. Is ambitious, so I think she'd smash it in there because she'd have the mental mind to just get down, really go for it. And Prince Harry, he was in the army, wasn't he? So I think they'd both be really good in there. I really like Harry, and I've got no problem with Meghan. She provokes such a bad reaction in people. I don't understand it. I mean, I'm not a royalist, if I'm perfect, but they don't bother me at all. And I think they'd be quite good in there. I mean, they're all primed from young, aren't they, to be able to handle any situation. So I think that the jungle is probably easier to live in than the royal family.
I don't actually doubt that. I'm not envious of either situation, but I think definitely have a challenge on that. Chris Moyles, how do you think he's been getting on this week?
Chris Moyles is not doing the most, is he? You know. No. He's quite quiet, from what we're seeing. The problem is, though, and I don't mean to be boring in my opinion, is that we've got an hour show that the editors have to edit from 24 hours down to an hour. You've got the trial, which takes up most, which is Matt. Yeah. The Dingo Dollar, which takes up obviously half of it, and then the rest has to be trying to even it out between everyone. So it really is just the Matt show, and we need to, forget my opinions on him. We need to start seeing other people, because I don't think that you can say that you've had the whole experience if you haven't done a trial. Yeah. And I think, even though when you're in there, you're like, don't vote me. But I'm so thankful that I got to do the eating trial, because it's, probably the best one, the one that people remember the most. Yeah. And when are you ever going to say, I ate kangaroo testicles and crocodile eyes? You're not, are you? Do you know what I mean? Disgusting. Yeah. But such an amazing experience. Yeah. So I'd be sad for the first person voted out, unless it's Matt, no one's got to do trials. Yeah. Trial was relatively easy, wasn't it? The one he did with Matt. I mean, I know it's disgusting, but relatively easy. So hopefully Chris gets to go and do a trial, and we see more of him, because at the minute, can you have an opinion on him apart from the fact that I wish he'd stop saying little things behind Matt's back and just say it to him?
Well, I think there's a few people on my list today, and I think that's exactly how I feel about at least half the people. Like, I've got talking points for quite a few people, but some of them just have gaps because they haven't had the airtime and they haven't had anything going on. So I completely get that. It'd be nice to have more to say about than just rant about Matt every time.
Definitely.
Get it. Who was going to say next? So Sue, I saw Sue kind of conniving with Boy George and was it Mike? So they want to overthrow Matt as like a little joke, because obviously he's leader now. I would love the revolt. I would love to see them not listen to him and everything. That would be amazing.
Well, that's what they should do. That's what we know Boy George from. He's a punk. He likes to rebel. This is, that's where he's fun. Jasper, come here. I think my husband's coming in, so the dog's barking. Give me 30 seconds to grab the dog. Come here. This is what we know Boy George for. Yeah. Brilliant, wouldn't it? And I like Sue when she gave us the story about being adopted and stuff. I mean, how unbelievable. And this is why the jungle's beautiful, isn't it? Finding out things like that you wouldn't, please stop, Jasper, that you wouldn't know about people. I mean, I don't watch Coronation Street. I know nothing about Sue, but know that tiny bit about her life, it makes you really interested in her, and it makes you're willing her to do well now, because you're like, oh my God, what a lovely story.
Yeah.
It'd be great if they went against Matt and just like set up their own party.
Yeah, 100%. My next point was Deputy Charlene, but which we've obviously covered. And I was going to say, what do you think the loose women are going to say about it? Have they been pretty nice then so far?
They've been pretty nice. You could definitely see that Ruth and Janet did not agree with it. And Janet said if she was in there, because Janet's done the jungle, hasn't she? So she said if she was in the jungle when Matt was there, she would have either physically attacked him, and she actually said this on live on Loose Women just a minute ago, or she would leave, she would walk out. But they were pretty tame about it. I mean, they can't really say much. They said Charlene's just a lovely person, and if she sees someone's cry, she's going to cuddle them.
Yeah.
It goes beyond just being a lovely person. I think it takes it to the point of, is she worried to say more? Worry about the bullying card, which we've already had on here, which, gets thrown around. From when I first did reality TV to now, mm-hmm. what you can say and what you worry about saying, unless you're me and just say whatever you think, is that there's so much more that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
But as long as you say things from your chest and you're not being nasty, why can't we say what we think anymore? We're living in such a PC world, but she is a news, I know we know her from Loose Women, but she does news, so she's got a lot more to lose than someone like me. But I still think you can't go into a reality show and hold back. You're being paid to entertain us for 3 weeks. Entertain us, because you're getting paid a lot more than most people do in their lifetime.
Yeah.
So, I do think that we're being let down by people's reluctantness to be cancelled. It's the cancer, isn't it? This bullying word that just gets thrown around.
Too much. Owen, so obviously he's been very innocent. Everyone's describing him as like just a little puppy. He's been really sweet. But when you look into kind of his relationship history, and obviously you mentioned with your friend Steph, and there's cheating claims gone on for all of his relationships. So there is a bad boy persona underneath all this sweetness, which I wonder if we're going to see. And because obviously I haven't seen any of an ounce of kind of that behaviour at all from him. So I think there is definitely a split side that Owen's not giving up on the show.
I don't know about that, because I mean, listen, it's awful. Like, cheating in general is awful, right? We know this, and don't come on and say one rule for him and one rule for another. He is only 23. And he didn't cheat on his wife with kids. He cheated on, a relationship that obviously wasn't working. So I'm not sure if he's a bad boy. He's just a normal boy, a normal 23-year-old. Do you know what I mean? I think he's lovely. I'm really enjoying him. I think he's sweet. I think he would be a good winner. There's no point in letting Charlene win, or, she's established. She's done what she needs to do. He would really benefit from winning. I mean, at the minute, he's not done enough for me to win, but neither any of them.
No.
But he's the sort of person I'd like to see win. It started off and I was like, I'm not sure about him. Seems like he's acting. He's not. He's just lovely. He's funny. He's sweet. He's good looking. I like him. I think he's lovely.
Who do you think would win? And could it be Matt? Could it possibly be Matt?
Matt will not win. I mean, I think he'll get... Problem is that as soon as you start voting to win, and that's what you do in the jungle, it's not vote to evict, is it? And it definitely. I know we're not talking about Big Brother, but Big Brother, when it's vote to save or vote to evict, it's very different who goes.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think that who is going to actually phone and pay, or you probably can do it on an app now. You can. Who is actually going to waste their time to vote for him? I know people are voting for him to do trials. That's because they want to see him suffer, which he doesn't seem to be. So you're all getting it wrong. I don't think he'll win it. I think it'll be like Jill could win it. And I mean, she's, everyone's obsessed with the Lionesses. Jill could win it. Owen could win it. Sue, the soap stars have such a big following, don't they? Mm-hmm. And it changed a lot because of social media. And it all depends how many followers people have got. That's why, not just because you all know I love Olivia, but that's why she would have probably hands down won it, because she's got like a million followers or something. So, I can't see Matt winning, surely not. If people vote for Matt to win, I'm never watching it again, so we will not be doing this next year, because
Well, I need you back. So I need to get on this campaign to get him out. Who do you think is going to get the boot next, though? Who do you think was going to
first out?
Do you think?
Yeah, I really, really do. Babe, just put, sorry guys, this is like this is housewife stuff. I put a pot there for you to heat it up on there. No, because you're going to make loads of noise doing that, which is why I put the pot there. Tom's making soup, guys, but he's trying to do the microwave that I've put my oven dishes in from the roast yesterday. How boring is my life? You all think, honestly, this is what I'm talking about, tomato soup. Yeah, no, Matt will be first to go, I think. I think that no one's going to vote to save him. So I think he'll be first to go. And I hope he is, not just because I dislike him, guys, but because I want other people to get a chance.
Yeah.
Other people need some airtime. It's such a big gig, I'm a celeb. To go in and to not really Matt Hancock's in there. You've wasted 2 years of your life, and now with COVID, and now you get in the jungle and it's been ruined by him. It's like, oh God.
I know, he doesn't stop. Do you still ever hear or speak to any from your season, or is it just that far ago that you're not in touch anymore?
No, so we don't speak to anyone, but like if I've seen any of them, apart from David Van Day, if I of them, then obviously it'd be really lovely to see them. I really got on so well with Simon Webb and Esther Ranson I loved, and I tell you who I loved, Robert Kilroy Silk. I absolutely loved him. So yeah, there was nice people. And Martina, I never say her name right, which is criminal, but Martina Navratilova, she's an absolute legend. So if I seen any of them, it would be so nice to see them. I sometimes see Joe Swash when I do Good Morning Britain. Yeah. He's always lively. So, yeah, I did get on well with everyone apart from Timmy Mallet and David Van Day.
Well, I was looking back, we discussed the leech story. For people watching, it was when a leech got stuck on Nicola's boob after the challenge, which was absolutely repulsive. But I went back on to kind of find the pictures and the quotes. At the time, Joe was like, he done a cheeky comment, and what did he say? He was like, yeah, the bugs always find a good place to go or something. So I was like, oh, was that a little bit flirty from Joe, or was that just him being a typical, oh, hello,
sorry. No, he wasn't flirty, Joe. He's like, he kisses everyone on the lips, doesn't he? Stacey Solomon had to ask him to stop. He's like quite hyper, and he's just wild. He was definitely not flirty. I can't give that gossip. Listen, my boobs are a talking point, aren't they? Because
oh my God, every year they just do absolute numbers.
Yeah, so everyone in there, I think as well, when you first meet me, if I'm like covered up and then you see me in a bikini, you're like, where they come from? Because they are just massive.
Did you get any comments in there or funny looks at the time, like crying?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like people were like gobsmacked, I think, especially like the older people were like, what the hell are those? Like just massive. And I'd gone so tiny teeny because of obviously you lose so much weight. I weighed about 7 stone, and then I've got these double G boobs, and they're like literally like there. You can't. So I never get offended when people like look, because I'm like, yeah, I'd look if I seen that as well, definitely.
Did any of your campmates say anything in particular?
I can't remember. It was so long ago, but yeah, there was definitely like loads of comments, and yeah, silicone doesn't. So once it's cold, it takes hours to heat up. So it was a nightmare when we had to do like water challenges for me. So I'd always be moaning about it, and you could just see people's face like,
what? They go really cold.
They go freezing, yeah, and they don't heat up, so you stay cold for so much longer.
Oh, does it hurt?
No, it's just freezing. Like you're literally putting ice packs on you.
The
joys.
Well, in this, I'll show you the link, Anna. But I was looking at the story. It was like one of the tabloids had done the story of the leech, like 2008, was it? So it was like a 2008 story, but it actually had a picture in. I'm sure they can't do that anymore of a nip slip. So I was going to say, do you know which one I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Was that intentional at the time? Mistake?
My husband asked me that. I was like, what do you think of me? No, absolutely not. It's just, so you get a modesty smock, so you can change under your modesty smock. And it was just like a nightmare. So I was like, I found a way to not be able to use the modesty smock, and obviously just had an accident. So yeah, but it is what it is. I'm not.
But why would they air that? Was that because surely they wouldn't air anything like that now, would they? Or
so I don't think they aired it on ITV. They aired it on ITV2. On the after thing. No, everything's changed so much. You wouldn't even have like half of the stuff that we could talk about or they could talk about, or even the way the tabloids write about you, is so different to how, and in a good way probably, you know, I'm not easily offended, but, you know, there was so much misogynistic behaviours around women, especially glamour models, and, you know, the way David Van Day behaved towards me would not be allowed now. It really wouldn't. But then again, if it was me, it probably would be, because everyone goes, oh, she can handle it. It's like, really.
No, I was going to say, because did that upset you? If you didn't know or plan for that to happen, but did that upset you at the time then that was aired? Because did you expect that to be covered up?
No, I knew they'd air it. I was shocked. I was shocked by his behaviour. I mean, it was so long ago, but yeah, I just remember thinking like that he's going to get in trouble for that. And they did call me in and say, you know, what do you think we should do? But they shouldn't have been asking me to.
Yeah.
Him, do you know what I mean? They should have taken matters into their own hands, really. I mean, he obviously just thought it was a joke, but you know, you just can't behave like that, can you? And in these days, it wouldn't be allowed.
No, certainly not. I'm sure they probably have a bit more things in place, probably even members of staff to stop that maybe happening. I was going to ask next. So, did you get any? I was going to say any unwanted attention in there, but you did. And how was that coming out? Did fans get even more of a fan base? Any kind of strange messages come in? What was the strangest one you've probably ever received?
Oh God, my messages are crazy, so I wouldn't even know. No, I got much nicer, I got female fans. So my majority, you can see your insights on Instagram, and I've got like 75% women followers, which obviously would not have been the case when I was entering the jungle. So, and that's really nice. Like, it's so much nicer to appeal to women. Obviously, you know, I'm a mum, as you well seen. I had to help Tom with the tomato soup there. So, you know, my main thing is being a wife and a mum. So it's nice to be able to relate to women and chat to women. And that definitely happened from the jungle. So I was lucky.
That's good. So I'm guessing as you kind of left the... Sorry, my granddad's wave. I'm on the video, granddad.
We're all nice.
I had him standing there for a minute and I was like, Granddad, I can't do anything. I'm on a live.
Come on. Hi, Granddad.
This happens every time. He knows what I'm doing. I think he just wants to get on live as well. I was kind of looking off camera like, oh my God. Blunder, days like blunder. Did you manage to steal anything from set, or did you get to keep your uniform or anything like that?
So you're not meant to keep your uniform because they recycle it, but I kept my uniform, obviously my hat, my bag, that was probably it. So the uniform, my hat, my bag, and I had a little stick with Gemma Atkinson's face on it, which was bizarre. So there was a bit where other former campmates sent stuff in for you, and I kept her stick as well. So yeah, I've got Gemma face.
Did you? I was gonna say the bikinis become pretty iconic. You got so many front pages, as you said, and that's exactly what you aim to do. Definitely. I think you still got them, and if not, they could sell probably for a very pretty penny. So I suggest you could, break that in.
I've got rid of those. Do you know my husband picked those bikinis as well?
Did he? I was gonna say that could be in like an Celeb museum or something. That
polka dot one. Yeah. I was really busy with work leading up to it, and I was like, he was going shopping. I said, oh, just pick me up a couple of bikinis for the jungle. And he was like, what sort? And I was like, yeah, just anything, just you pick. And he picked the polka dot one that made front page every day when I was in there.
Oh God, I don't think I'll get anyone pick my own bikinis. I need to try them on. So that for someone else to pick your iconic bikini and it.
That's good, isn't it? Good work, Thomas.
Yeah, amazing. Congrats. Well, and good luck with the soup. What I was going to say, so no one's replaced Olivia yet as the bikini babe, which is obviously quite disappointing. Have they made a mistake by not throwing someone in? I feel like they could have put someone in early doors, because it was like, 24 hours? They've not filled the window.
Yeah, I really, really think they should have put someone in. And I was watching Olivia today on This Morning, and she said that she had to leave because she got a reading back from her bloods and they were really low potassium, low salt, whatever, a sodium. And then she went to hospital and they were all fine. And the ones from home were all fine. When she got back to the UK, she did them again and they're all fine. I can't understand why they didn't let her back in. It seems really baffling to me that they would lose such a huge camp. Like, she was going to be brilliant, let me tell you. So I don't understand it. It was right for them to obviously query the blood test, but if she had 2 normal and 1 dodgy, surely she should go back in and then retest it in a couple of days. I don't know. And I know the insurance is huge out there, but massive loss. They should have definitely put another feisty female in there. They really should have.
That's a shame. Well, Daniela Westbrook has said that she'd be up for it and she'd smash the shower scenes because she looks better now. She did it 20 years ago and she'd do confrontation with everyone. Do you think she would have been a good fit?
I don't remember Daniela in it the first time, but she is feisty, Daniela. To be fair to her, she does say what she thinks. So, yeah, I like people that say what they think. But if they're putting anyone back in, then they need to put me back in.
They do. I'm still waiting for you to tell me you've got the call for an All Stars because
I'm a bad liar. I told everyone when I got the jungle. You weren't meant to tell anybody. There was like, don't tell anyone. If you get leaked, you won't have it. I literally would be in Tesco's and go, oh, I'm going in. I'm a celeb next week. Everyone. Same as when I got Big Brother. So I can't hold my water, as Scottish people say. So no, they haven't asked me. It's really annoying. They're missing a trick, I swear.
Massive, especially how dry this series is without that kind of character. They should learn for next time. Because obviously, what we said about the All Stars current lineup is like, oh, okay, that's quite nice and sweet, and get it. The memes that were created at the time, but entertainment value not there. So
no,
I'm on this one. Anything else to add that I kind of haven't discussed already, or are we kind of all caught up?
We're caught up. I'm trying to think if there anyone that we haven't spoken about.
I haven't spoken about Sean, Babatunde, and maybe Scarlett, but I just didn't think there's really...
I know, there's nothing, is there? Scarlett's sweet, actually, isn't she? And I like the way she dealt with Matt Hancock, but you sort of want a bit more. Sean, I can't warm to him. I really can't. So, yeah, no, they're all... And I really want Bubba to be brilliant, but we're just not getting to see him. So, yeah, guys... Whoever's watching, stop voting Matt and let's get someone else in, please. Let's get... I mean, we want someone who's really going to be terrified, don't we? That's what we need.
I want someone who's going to be rubbish at the trials, then they're not eating, and then they get arguing. That is what
we want. We need something. I'm dedicating 3 weeks of my life to this, which I love. I love the show, but I need something. I feel like we're owed it after the castle, which, let's be honest, was dry. We need to be lively.
Yeah. Well, I want to do the live every week and be like, boom, boom. What about?
Yeah, me too. Me too. We need some liveliness in there.
Well, hopefully next week. Well, we've got the column on Thursday. Hopefully there'll be some the next couple of days. But everyone watching will be back next week at the same time. So thanks for tuning in, guys. But yeah, we'll speak to you soon.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.